Hello, welcome. This is Martha Hines with Living the One Light. So today I am feeling called to speak a little more about a message that I've spoken to a little bit recently, but I'm feeling this message even more strongly, and I want to say a little more about it and help drop into it a bit more. So what this message is about is really the crucial importance for us to relax deeply, relax our soul, relax our bodies, relax our entire system, and on a bigger level to really repair our nervous systems. So what I'm shown in my prayers, what I just feel in my own body and my own system is, of course, there's this common knowing that, we need to take care of ourselves, we need to do self-care, all of that. And on one level, that's just true because it's enjoyable and we like to, in general, relax and have time off and all of that. We also know that that's important because we need rest to rejuvenate. We need rest in order to improve our immune systems and heal on a physical and emotional level. All of that is completely true. And then, though, what I get reminded of for myself personally, and then on a collective level, is that's all true and good. But those reasons are pretty easy for us to, again, speaking for myself, but I think it's true for a lot of us, to talk ourselves out of. Like when it's really about me and my pleasure or my enjoyment of something, it's easy for me to say, okay, but I don't have time for that. It's not really that crucial. My kids need me more, the world needs me more, or I need to make money or whatever. And so we can easily bypass doing something that we think of as, only about ourselves, right? Okay, so we know all that. But on a bigger, more meta level, what I get reminded about over and over and over again is, of course, this is really not just about ourselves, it's about our entire world, really about all of existence in a certain way. And it's about our ability to, on the biggest level, to serve this planet and to do what we came here to do. So, if you're listening to this video, you're probably a kind of person who is relatively connected to a sense that you're here to serve in some way, and that you are called to do that in a way that is through your connection with yourself as a being of the divine. I'm guessing you're probably not listening to this if you don't feel those things, but I could be wrong. So, but in some way, we all want to do good in the world. So I've said this, in other ways, but I just feel the need to repeat it. So one of the most fundamental truths about ourselves as animal bodies is we have a nervous system. And our nervous system has two basic, the way that, science currently on a basic level thinks about it is that there's this two functions of the nervous system. One is or two states of being. One is the parasympathetic nervous system. The other is the sympathetic nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system is what switches on when we are in fight or flight mode. So you're being attacked by a bear, you need to run or freeze or fawn or, do one of those fight or flight mode survival instinct responses. And so when we're in that state, our sympathetic nervous system turns on, and our heart rate increases, all of these things that go along with the fight or flight mode. Then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that relaxed state of being where we feel safe, we feel held in a sense, and so we're able to deeply relax. And physiologically, what happens when we're in that state? Our heart rate slows, our breathing slows to a calm rate, and our digestion suddenly turns on, and we're able to literally digest better. We're able to sleep better, and our body is able to heal. Our body goes into more of a healing state. When we're in that fight or flight mode, we have all kinds of cortisol and adrenaline running through our body, and it's actually breaking over time. That those chemicals break down our cells, as opposed to when we're in our parasympathetic nervous system, our body creates things that are our body goes into a healing mode, right? And so produces chemicals that are promoting our healing. So that's really significant on a physical level. But then also what happens is when we're in fight or flight mode, we are on a brain function level, we tend to shut off most of our brain, other than the hindbrain and the part of our brain that's going to help us run from that bear. We're not in a state of being where our capacity to really think about the long term, think about the big picture, get new ideas, that's not what's online. When we're in the parasympathetic nervous system, that is what comes online. We're not worried about running from the bear. We're relaxed and open, and suddenly we can see things in a whole different perspective, and and flashes of new ideas can just spontaneously arise, or we can be in an open, relaxed state of being and be having relationships and conversations that bring in fresh thought and fresh feeling and fresh inspiration. So yeah, so one of what the spirit world says to me and through me is that we can have all this knowledge. It's great. It's important to have the knowledge, and we need very concrete ways of doing this, of coming back into our parasympathetic nervous system and allowing our nervous systems to heal. Because on this planet, for how many millennia, we've had an incredible amount of trauma. So in trauma, part of what happens is our nervous system gets really frayed and really damaged, can get very, very overloaded. And the synapses, our nervous system connections get in a mode of overfiring, like going so fast in that fight or flight mode that the electrical impulses even in our body are firing so fast we can't heal and allow the connections to create themselves that are going to be really in service of a healing state of being. The connections that get made are in service of that running from the bear. So, and like I said, over time, that fight or flight mode breaks down our body systems. So I feel so strongly that over time, there is this need for us as humans to take responsibility for healing, actively coming back into ourselves and repairing and healing our nervous systems, healing our bodies, but in particular the nervous system. So how do we do that? There's so many different answers to the how. In my own work, in my own life, there's many, many layers to the, how I'm called to share the how. So in this video, I want to talk about a few of those, and I'll start with just my own personal ways, in case they resonate for any of you. So for example, let's see, last week, I had a couple of weeks of pretty intense stuff going on in my personal life, in my family, and it was the eclipse season, and a lot came up in person, in various ways in my personal life. And so I was pretty exhausted, actually very extremely, like I got to the point where I felt like I was running on fumes. And then I got sick, not surprisingly. My daughter got a cold and I got it, which doesn't happen that often for me, but not surprisingly, it did. So what did that mean? Okay, it meant that I just needed to take a week off. And I had felt it coming that I needed to take actually like 2 or 3 weeks off. So I had planned my schedule actually in advance to have that time off. And then it turned out I got sick. So there you go. I really, really had to honor that. And I did. And what I did during that week where I really was taking time off, my kids happened to not be with me that week, which is pretty unusual. And so I had time. I mean, it was really an amazing gift that I had the time during that week. And so I did things like, in my praying, the spirit world kept saying to me, remember yourself as earth. Come back to yourself as earth. So I felt into what does that mean? What are they trying to get me to do? And the answer to that has so many different layers. And a lot of the work that I'm feeling called to do in the coming years is related to that. So more to come on that from me. But what it meant for me on a really practical level last week was, I spent a lot of time in nature, of course, and I live in an incredibly beautiful place. So I can walk to the ocean from my house. And so I walked over to the ocean many times. I spent time down at low tide. I love low tide. It was a new moon last week. And so the tide was extra, extra low. And I just sat there and I walked and I, watched the ocean birds. And I love the ocean birds. And just the ocean in general, and well, the earth, everything, so much. And I went up into the mountains and I lay on the rocks and the boulders there, and I just felt my body as the earth. I went like, in my consciousness, lying there on the beach and then lying there on the rocks on the side of the mountain. I just let myself sink all the way down into the center of the earth, basically, and feel what it is to be rock, feel what it is to be these massive, ancient beings of this planet, which are these earth beings, these boulders, right? They've been here for how many bazillion years and they've seen so much. So just on a really basic level, that's one thing I did, like literally remember myself as earth. I make my own massage lotion, and because I was a massage therapist for a bunch of years, many years ago, and I still have some massage clients. And so I make this lotion for myself. It's, all natural, like shea butter and olive oil, and it's a Deb Soul recipe, or various herbalists have the same recipe in their books. You can look it up. It's very simple and easy to do, and makes really, really amazing very technically edible. I wouldn't eat it personally. Really amazing lotion. And I infused the olive oil with different herbs like calendula and rose petals and lavender flowers and comfrey leaves and things like that. So it's a very nutrifying, nourishing lotion that I made. And then I put I took lots of Epsom salt baths, and I put essential oils in the baths. And the essential oils that were really calling to me last week were sandalwood, lavender, and rose. So, just very, again, nutrifying, nourishing, kind of, but magical at the same time. That was really what my body was needing. I just wanted to soak in that nutrition, literal nutrition of the earth, of the salt water, of these magic oils that are based on the earth. So yeah, I took those baths, and then I put that lotion on me, and I put some of the essential oil in the lotion too. And I gave myself a massage, and I, massaged like my lower back that was bothering me, and my neck and my face, and just took a lot of time just literally being in my body. And I slept and that kind of thing. And by the end of the week, whoa, I felt so much better. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's on my personal recent level, just to give ideas that may or may not resonate for you personally. Then on a more, if you want to say, professional level of what I'm offering in the world, what I'm called to really be present with in a more active way for any of you who might want support around repairing your nervous system and really coming back into your own parasympathetic nervous system. Number one, what I offer every month, and what is coming up this Friday, December 2nd, are these deep peace and healing circles. So I hold these once a month. Typically, I've been holding them every first Friday of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. And they're an hour and a half long. And it's a time where it's essentially like getting a Reiki treatment or a very, very deep, powerful energy healing session from the cosmos, from the spirit world, from the earth, whatever happens to come through. So I channel a healing guided meditation, essentially. And we come together on Zoom. You can be there live or have the recording. I record them. I record the channel part, and they're up on my Teachable site, and you can have them anytime for indefinitely. But what we do is we join together on Zoom for those of us who are there live, and there's a little bit of sharing, but it's really not so much about the sharing. It's really a time for you to just completely let go, totally receive, and to have a regular time each month where there's this opportunity for you to be 100,000% held. Because one of the biggest things that our nervous system needs in order to feel safe and able to truly let go and therefore heal is the sense of being held. We know that as for babies, we were all babies. We all started out as babies in this lifetime. In any lifetime we've had on this planet as a human or any other animal, probably we started as a baby. So babies need to be held. Humans need to be held. animal, mammals, I'll speak for mammals. Mammals need to cuddle. Like they need that constant sense of the nervous system getting to co-regulate with another body. That's how we're made. That's how we came into this world. We were in the mother's womb. And then when we're born, we need to be skin to skin and heart to heart and nursing and or being held while we're being fed and that kind of thing. So the purpose of these deep peace and healing circles is essentially to give us as adults a place where we can feel totally safe and held by the cosmos, by the spirit world, by the divine, by the earth. So yeah, each month there's a different medicine in a sense that comes through, but each time has been amazing. So I really welcome you to that. I invite you to that. I would love to have you there. Again, you can be there just one time, or you can come every month. There's, you can pay just one month at a time, or you can join my membership that includes coming to it and every month. And then coming up, I'll say the rest of what I currently do. So there's those deep peace and healing circles. Then I also do one-on-one sessions with people for you to get whatever kind of support you need or want in your own journey around, being able to fully relax, clear any traumas, clear any patterns in your own life and yourself that might be difficult and are getting in the way of helping you to truly get into that state of being where you're able to relax and heal and be held. So that's the one-on-one sessions. And I do one-time sessions and I also do ongoing sessions. Okay. And then coming up early next year, I'm gathering together a group of people, amazing people who in various ways do work that also supports us to heal our nervous system, relieve anxiety in a sense, and come into this parasympathetic nervous system state of being. So that's coming up. It's going to be a compilation of a naturopath, a few psychotherapists, but psychotherapists who, in addition to the more traditional cognitive behavioral and mindfulness techniques, they also do expressive arts and meditation and, various modalities. Then there's also going to be someone who specializes in essential oils, working with essential oils, somebody who does Reiki and energy healing, and then two sound healers. Anyway, it's a group of about 8 of us, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if that piques your interest, let me know. And that's going to be something that I'll be putting out early next year. So this is a long-term sort of task that I've been given, is to hold various opportunities for us all to really be held on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, to do this repairing of our nervous system, to do this, coming back into the parasympathetic nervous system, to truly deeply relax, because that's what we need. We truly, truly need to do this, not only for our own benefit, definitely for our own benefit, but in addition, as part of the bigger picture of helping us to be present on this planet in a way that is the most supportive of us to be doing what we're here to do, and to have the innovative ideas come through us that are needed to come through us. We each are this divine tuning fork, is what the spirit world says to me. And in order for us to sing the song that is us, it's really important for us to be in that relaxed state of being. Yeah, so again, this is not about being selfish. I mean, being selfish in this way is good. It's really about being selfish in service of everything else. So, yeah. And then the last part that I feel called to speak to about this is a message that came through actually this past Saturday at my most recent Soul Wisdom gathering, which is another monthly gathering. I have 2 gatherings that I do every month. One is the Deep Peace and Healing Circles that I mentioned earlier, which is, on the first Friday of every month. Coming up, the next one is December 2nd. And then I have these once a month Soul Wisdom gatherings, which are also channeled, but really more about gathering in community with like-minded people, like-minded souls, like-minded beings, and dropping into, a guided, channeled message, and in a sense, a remembering of a particular spiritual tool that whatever the spirit world is really feeling strongly that people are needing in that moment. So what came through last Saturday at that Soul Wisdom community gathering was this, totally blew me away. I never know what to expect when I'm channeling. And what came through was this remembering of how incredible plants and flowers are as a teacher for us to remember the truth of how we are meant to be here. So that can mean so many things. What I mean is this guided meditation that I channeled on Saturday essentially had us re-become a flower or any kind of plant, right? But there were many components of that, but the key part that's related to what I've been saying in this video is that the spirit world said, you're just like this, you're just like a flower, in the sense that a flower, when it is blooming, it's not making effort. It's not efforting. It's not trying to bloom. It naturally knows how to be rooted fully in the earth, rooted in its connection to the air, the sun, the water, the rain that moves through its body. And in that natural grounding and alignment and just being itself, really, it just relaxes, and its body knows the right timing, the how, the how, the when, and the what, and the where, and it blooms. There's no trying to bloom. There's no like running from the bear and, working 10,000 hours a week and forcing itself into blooming. It doesn't, that's not how this works, right? So again, I can speak for myself, but I think in this human world with this trauma and this fear of survival and a lot of the constructs that we have collected as a human peoples at this moment in time, we really have gotten so sadly out of connection with the natural rhythm of what it is to be earth, of what it is to be like that flower, what it is to be like a tree. And part of, when I sink into the rhythm of what does it mean, again, back to what the spirit world is telling me, remember yourself as earth. What does it mean to really be earth? Well, part of it is being in the rhythm and the cycles and the state of being of what it is to be a being of earth. So again, it's about, for me, when I feel into it, my body slows down about 10,000 steps. I go from like single mom on the go, got to get my kid from here to here to here to here to here, got to come home, do the dishes, do the dinner, do the laundry, multitask, write so-and-so back, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? I go from that, like my South Node in Aries, my Venus in Aries on my South Node, just like, I'm really good at the charge ahead thing. I'm great at it. My Virgo ascendant and Virgo moon. Really, I'm really good at working hard. Okay, great. I'm glad I have those skills. Excellent. And remembering myself as earth, that's like coming back to my Taurus Jupiter, North Node currently for all of us in Jupiter, Uranus in Jupiter. Uranus in the North Node in Taurus. What did I say? North Node in Taurus, Uranus in Taurus, all near my natal Jupiter in Taurus. My North Node is in my second house. For those of you who understand astrology, there's so much in my chart trying to help me to remember my natural ability to slow way down. And yeah, find this rhythm again. How does my body operate? Actually, if I really tune into it, it wants to go so slowly and breathe as the earth, breathe like the waves of the ocean. And just be with the light of the sun, just letting it feed me, all of that. So yeah, again, back to that flower, like when I'm in that rhythm of really remembering myself as earth, whoa, the flower just becomes itself. It just is. So yeah, same for all of us, right? And it's not necessarily that simple, and it also is that simple. So yeah, that's the last part of what I feel called to say in this moment. If that guided experience of rebecoming the flower interests you, it's also available. So reach out to me and I will send it to you. Great. Okay. Yeah. So I would love to welcome you this Friday, December 2nd, at the next Deep Peace and Healing Circle. If you're feeling the need for that, again, you can come live. You can have the recording indefinitely. I also have many already recorded Deep Peace and Healing circles on my Teachable site. And I have a whole series of Deep Peace and Healing videos that I recorded a couple of years ago. 3 of them are free. And I'm going to give a coupon code in the body of this video for you to have 20% off any of those that you might feel called to, and actually anything on my Teachable site for the first half of December. So feel free to take a look at those and reach out with any questions anytime. Wonderful. Okay. livingtheonelight@gmail.com, and I'll put all of the links for everything in this video. Okay. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you soon.